Welcome everybody. In tonight's video, I'll be reviewing the Marbles Dave Canterbury designed Scout King. This is a pretty doggone good knife here. I actually enjoy this. This is second to my Marbles GI utility knife here, and we'll go into some of the reasons why. But this is pretty much just going to focus on just this knife in this review. I'll do a comparison of my Scout knives in another video, so stay tuned for that down the road. Starting off, we have the Scout King here. Close up some of these implements. There's a few things I don't like about this. We'll get into those. But starting off, we have the knife blade coming in at almost 3 inches of sharpness, like 2 3/4 sharpened, 3 inches if you want to count from the end of the knife to the tip of the blade. And the whole knife itself, when closed, is about a little shy over 4 inches. This is a pretty big knife, and I love it. Got a nice big knife blade here. I believe these are all carbon steel 440. I'm not positive, but I assume 440 based on some of the other things. If I'm wrong, please comment down below. But we get this nice fat blade here. We got a beautiful swedge here on the tip. Very nice. Even grind, sharp out of the box with no imperfections. I don't know if I like the Dave Canterbury signature on the blade. I don't know, it's just kind of a little tacky to me, but that's my tastes. The Scout King logo is a little off-center from the pin, but that's fine. It doesn't bug me. And the tools have a half stop here for safety. Very nice. Up next on the knife spring here, we have the hole punch, kind of a reamer, but mostly just a punch. Very nice little tool here, very sharp out of the box, goes through leather quite nicely. A little bit of a poke, but goes through. I could sharpen it some, and I just cut myself on the awl. Reset the injury counter. Oh well, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, not a bad cut. That'll be healed in a day or so. No biggie. I've got band-aids. I'll bandage up after this. But we have the big flathead driver with the cap lifter here. Very nice. And if this is anything like the Marbles GI utility knife, this is going to be surprisingly strong. I've put some stress on the flathead here on this one, and it has not bent or broke. So that's fantastic. For being a $7 knife, this is fantastic for this. This is running you about $22, $25. Kind of depends where you get it from. Up next, we have the honkin' big can opener, and this is like the one gripe I have about the whole tool. And I don't think I'm necessarily wrong about my gripe here. Here is the can opener of the normal sized Scout knife, where it's like sub 3 inch knife blade here. It's fine. I hope you all are not grossed out by the sight of blood. If so, I apologize, but life is life. You get cut dealing with knives. This is a reality, and it hardly ever happens to me anymore. So, and I'll be good for 6 months now. I get a cut about every 6 months. That's my one cut. We'll be fine. Back in business. But look at the size of this can opener here. This is a normal size can opener. If you were to just have this knife in your hand, IRL, you would see that this is perfectly fine. And then you get this Dave Canterbury one, and it's just like so much bigger. It's like, why do you need it to be this much bigger? It doesn't improve the performance all that much. And what it does do that's detrimental to me is it's higher up than the rest of the tools on the knife. And then you compare it to the GI utility knife, where it's about the same level as the other implements here. And then you see the Dave Canterbury one, where it's just like a mile higher than the rest. It's just asinine of why. I'm calling you out, Dave Canterbury. Why did you make the can opener so doggone big? Was it like some sort of combat weapon that you wanted to have to take on a bear or something? What is the deal here with having such a large can opener? The size does not help it all that much. if any at all, in opening a can. In fact, to me, it almost makes opening a can harder. Why is it so doggone big? And then when you have the knife out and you're trying to whittle and stuff, you've got this hot spot on your two main fingers that you're using to hold the knife for the pressure. If this was on the cap lifter side, where it was a hot spot for these two fingers, I don't think I would care, because it would be down here. But being up here where like the most of your grip is like, why is that so pronounced? Why couldn't you have made that smaller or shallower? Because if I pull this out and I look down here, we have, it's not all that visible from the camera's view here, and I apologize for that. We have a 1/4 inch of room that could still go down, and it's not going down. And I'm just like, you have room. It's not like you couldn't make the thing sit lower. You have room to make the can opener sit lower. Why did you not make it sit lower? Why? And if you'll wait for just 1 second, I do think I'm going to whip out a Band-Aid. Not because of the pain. I'm actually used to getting cut. I grew up having cats hanging around the house, get scratched a lot. But the blood is getting a little intense here. We'll just wipe this down with a clean paper towel over here. Put the bandage over the spot. Wrap it up. Okay, purple Band-Aid. I don't like using Band-Aids all that much. I don't dislike using them, but yeah, if I can go without them, I go without them. But you look at this, and there is so much, you can see light through the can opener. First off, I don't like that. Second of all, like I said, let's dig out the awl from this bad boy. Use it as a pointer here. Looking inside the knife here, down in here, I can tell, and it may not come across on camera, but there is a good 1/4 inch that could drop down, which would make this, when compared to the can opener, it would still be above the can opener, or the cap lifter, excuse me. It would still be above the cap lifter, but it would not be so pronounced. And at that level, I don't think I would really have the hot spot here. But the height aside, I'm just confused as to why Mr. Canterbury, and I do like the stuff that he does. He's a good survival expert, but I don't think he's good at designing knives, at least not a folding scout knife. Why the size difference on the can opener? It's just like, I understand that you're making this bigger than the average scout knife, and it's not modeled after this. I'm using this as an example. It's an amped up scout knife, but like, why the can opener? Why? I don't get why. I'm rambling on here a little bit, but that's the one thing I really want to point out about this knife. I love this knife. I'm going to carry it a lot, but I would enjoy it so much more if this was not a thing. Like, it's just, I'm just curious as to why he chose to go the way he chose for this knife. Next thing up, the bale. So far, I've had a good solid bale here. It hasn't had any issues, but I would much rather have seen, for a knife this size, this is a big knife. You want it to feel secure when you tie something to the bale. And the smaller knife here from Marbles, the GI utility knife, has a more sturdy looking and feeling bale than the rest of the tools. And the bale goes through the scales and the tools here. On this knife here, the bale only goes into the bolsters. From the looks of things here, it does not go all the way through the tools below. And so it's just like, why are you breaking this form factor of scout knives, having the bale go through some of the implements there? It's just, why? It's an extra step that you have to do to make the knife, when you could just skip that step and just have a 1 pin instead of 3 pins, because you got one here, and then one all the way through for the tools. It's an extra step I don't like. And this is a sturdy enough bale, do not get me wrong. It's not weak or flimsy by any means, but this one is just like such a tank of a bale. It's wonderful. And if this is your scout knife, that is your survival knife that you want to have tied to you at all times when you're out in the woods, Why such a flimsy bale? I'd almost rather just have like the Victorinox style key ring going on here than the bale if you're going to go this route. I'm just curious as to why that, of all things. Now, the things I love about this, let's go over the good things. I've rambled about the bad things a bit here. Good things I like. Big knife blade, next to no blade wiggle. Good detent here with the spring. It's a slip joint, so it can pop loose, and that's fine, and that's expected. Nice big blade, fairly thick, great. Seems to be tempered well. Sharp out of box, where it just like glides through leather quite nicely. It is a wonderful knife blade. Great knife blade. Not a thing wrong with it. Love the knife blade. Up next, cap lifter, flathead screwdriver, doohickey thingamabob. Love it. This thing is big. It's strong. It's hefty. It's sturdy. I've done a little bit of testing, but not as much as on this knife here. This thing is fantastic. Love it. And good pull, good detent. Great stuff. The awl, not as sharp as the marbles. These are both marbles, but not as sharp as the GI folder. The GI one came out of the box sharper, but with a little bit of sharpening stone, I'll get that razor sharp. It'll just glide through leather. No trouble at all. And I cut myself on the edge of this here, which I kind of expected to happen, but didn't, because, you know, it's not that sharp, but it was obviously just sharp enough. Love it. I love this. I love the sewing hole. This is a great knife, or great awl here. Love it. The thing I hate, oversized can opener that sticks farther up than any other tool on the knife. Creates a hot spot when you're using the knife blade. It's terrible. And then the underwhelming bale. I wish that it would have been a thicker, sturdier bale with the pins going through the implements, because when I open the implements, the center of pivot seems to be off from the pins on the bale, which tells me that this is not attached to the main pin going through the tools, which is fine. I do not dislike the Scout King being off center from the center pin. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Adds some humanity to the scales here. I love the color of the bone. I love the texture of the bone. This is fantastic. All the tools, including the can opener, have decent half stops, decent pull, decent locking, quote unquote locking. Got some blood on my knife now. Oh well. But I love the knife. I'm going to carry it. It's good enough that I will carry it. I'm going to enjoy carrying it. I would recommend you get one and carry it yourself. Maybe even get one for your for the Boy Scouts, because this is intended to kind of be a scout knife. But this is a big knife, and I've got big hands. This is a big knife. If you're getting a knife for a kid, little kid, this is probably too big. But I love this knife. The two things that are wrong with it are not that wrong that I will not use the knife, but they are an annoyance, and I wonder how that it got through design process. It's not a detriment to the knife. It's not a detriment to the solidity of the knife or the quality of the knife. It's just a design feature more than quality feature. So, with that said, do I write for $22, $25, depending where you buy them? Do I recommend you get one? If you're looking to get a big honkin' scout knife, I recommend getting this. It's fantastic. So, with that said, I hope you all found this. Well, actually, I need to get some announcements out of the way. I do have Instagram, JSPR_EDC, if you want to follow me there. Sometimes you'll see pictures of knives that are going to be in future videos. You kind of get a little sneak peek of what's coming up sometimes. That's fine. I have memberships. Click the channel somewhere on there. You can find a membership button, and there's membership levels where you can pay $1 a month, $2 a month, or $5 a month. Every little bit would help, and will help me buy better gear to review on the channel. I also have an affiliate link with QSP Knives. I have a QSP Penguin here, had this for almost 2 years now, with nominal rust on the blade here, next to no rust. The edge holds an edge for a very long time. I have stropped it and honed it a few times, but I've only sharpened it once in 2 years, and I do use my knives fairly regularly. Use this a lot on car work, and this is a tank of a knife. So I hooked up with QSP. They gave me an affiliate link. I'm going to post it down below. If you're interested in getting a QSP knife, click the link below. It will take you to the home page of the QSP website, and I get a 7% commission. If you buy a $30 knife, like say the Penguin, I get $2 sent to me for commission. So please, if you're considering getting a nice looking knife that holds up well and comes in various patterns, you have a lot to choose from to get one personalized to you, please consider checking out QSP. Every little bit that you spend over there helps me out just that little bit more. So, thank you for listening to me ramble. Thank you for listening to me rant. I do like this knife, aside from its 2 flaws. So I do recommend you get one if you're looking to get one. I hope you found this video useful and informational. Hope it helps you build your EDC to your standards. And until the next time, farewell, carry well, and a bye-bye.